Hey, good morning, everybody. We always start early, but the sooner we start, the sooner we finish. My name is Arthur Migala. My bachelor's and master's in computer engineering and mathematics. My doctorate is in artificial intelligence and how it relates to post-secondary education. So it's a lot of fun what's out there. It's scary. It's more scary than fun, actually. It's pretty much, if you think about it, they have now computers that will talk to each other to get their own job done. They have programs now that'll develop their own programs. So think about it. They're replicating, they're communicating. It's scary what's out there. But anyway, what we're going to do here is talk about calculus. Calculus 1. How many of you are good with your algebra and trig skills? Yeah, that's a true answer. Yeah. We'll test to see how that is because we're going to look at all sorts of the ways of looking at trigonometry and algebra, all the rules of algebra, all the rules of trigonometry. We'll need those for this course. What exactly do you think calculus is? You signed up for it, besides a requirement for my degree. What is calculus? Why is it so important? Why is this such a scary class to a lot of people? What's the history of it? What's that? Who?
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton, yes. Well, there's an argument. It's between Sir Isaac Newton and Gottfried von Leibniz. The symbols we use in this course are all Leibniz's. Some of the concepts are Newton's. The only reason Newton's given credit for it is because it came from the Royal Academy of Sciences, which is in London, which is near where he lives. Everybody else had to come from Europe. Remember, this is back in the 16th, 17th centuries. Transportation wasn't that fast. So to go from Berlin or Salzburg, Austria, to go to London was probably a month, 2-month travel, as opposed to a 3-hour travel by buggy from where Newton lived. And they knew him. So it's really Leibniz's idea, the stuff we use. But now, why was the whole thing of calculus so important? How does calculus trump the algebra and trigonometry we study?
It explains a lot of
Doesn't explain really. It gives us things a lot faster. It's like the best way to analyze it is like turbo algebra. And you'll see that why that is. Because, for example, when we deal with areas of a curve between 2 points, A and B, we have our function. How would we find the area of that part here? Well, yes. Do we know what that is? So no, we wouldn't. Derivative and integrals, those are the opposites. Which one would you use? You can't use them both. Why is that? Yes, it does. The integral, but we haven't learned it yet. We won't learn it till the end of this course. So we can't use that. What ways do you know now? This is the same way they did it in the past when Newton and Leibniz were arguing who got credit for it. How would you figure out the area of that? Do we know any formula for area? Length times width. Well, what length and what width? Remember, this is a curve. If it was a rectangle, it'd be easy. But it's a curve. So we can't really use that. So how would we go about doing it? Smaller and smaller increments, right? First off, we cut it in half. We look at these two areas. Well, do we use this one, which is higher than this one? And that area gives us a lot of extra. But if we use this one, we lose all this area. So let's cut those in half. Let's make it even smaller. And smaller than that. And smaller than that. And then eventually we'll have small rectangles. We'll have an infinite number of small rectangles where if we add them all up, then we'll have the area for that. That's what we're going to. We'll be using symbols like that. What does that mean? What's that? It's sigma, but what does sigma mean? Well, sigma is in Greek. What is it in Latin? Summa. Summa means what? Yeah. The sum of. So what we would do is we would add up all these rectangles and that would give us the area. But that's a lot of work. Because remember, the more we have, we're going to go to an infinite number. So we're going to go from k equals 1 to infinity. That we can't do, so we have to figure out, and that's where calculus comes in, the integrals. Why is this important? Why is knowing the area of a shape important? Now put yourself back in where Newton and Leibniz were back in those days. Why would the shape of something in the area be important? Is there any industry? No, when you build, you control the area. Because I know how wide and how tall I want it. But something's already built. All came on commerce, transport. Ships, yeah, everything traveled. A ship looks like this. And it has a holding cargo bay like this. It's square. Was everything transported square back then? Imagine a vase. You couldn't have a lamp post because they didn't have electricity back then, really. So what a vase? Why is that important? Amazon, how does it ship things? In boxes. It's rectangular, it's square. So it's easy. They can tell you exactly how many boxes can fit inside here, how many is supposed to fit in there, in the width and the length of the ship. But back then, they didn't. All they did was just take these jars and things and put them in there. How many can you carry in your ship? Well, you knew these dimensions, so we could figure out the volume. A times B times C. Now, how many vases can we carry? That is what the whole thing was about, to maximize the commercial return. And that's what we're going to learn in this course. Given any object, you can find an equation that satisfies its contour. And then from there, we could find the area and then rotate it about an axis. Then we have a volume. And that's where calculus 2 comes in, the rotations of volumes. So whether it's a solid or it's a spherical, has a hole in the middle of it, like a washer. But that's what we're going to try to do in this course. Now, how are we going to get there? In my courses, first off, to fail my course, you have to try really hard by not doing anything. You will have homework assignments, you will have exams, and you'll have a final exam. The bad thing about the ways that's situated is, think about it. Each chapter, your other classes, you only have one exam, right? So everything is dependent on what you make on that one test. I do away with that. In my classes, all your homework assignments, you can do it as many times as you want to until you get the highest grade possible. And then the highest grade I'll keep. Because you do your homework at home over the weekends and stuff, it's not fair to make you sit inside a quiet testing center, take your tests. So I'll let you take your tests at home as well. Because I'm trying to bestow the virtue of honesty to my fellow man. If you want to cheat to make a good grade, fine, knock yourself out. But what are you going to learn? Nothing. You could do that if you take me for Calculus 2, Calculus 3, the same thing. But when you go to your third and fourth year courses at a university, you're going to be expected to know your Calculus 1, 2, and 3 stuff. So if you want to cheat your way through this course, knock yourself out. But to do away with that fear of getting a bad grade and failing the course, I will let you have 3 tries at your exams. If you need more tries, tell me, I'll increase the number. And I'll keep the best score. Just don't cheat. The final exam, you'll have 2 tries to try to get your best score. The reason it has to be finite is because that's at the end of the semester, and everything shuts off at 11:59 p.m. on December 12th, which is when everything is due. That's the only deadline you really have, is December 12th at 11:59 p.m. And so don't wait until the last couple of weeks to do your work. Because I get swamped by students begging for more time and for extra help the last couple of weeks. I'm sorry. It's when everybody else hits me up for time and stuff, and I can't help everybody. So I decide to help no one. You have 16 weeks to do this stuff. Let's be honest, you have 15 weeks and 1 week for final exams. So you have, let's say, 6 tries at a test to keep the best score. So there's no reason for you to cheat. No reason. Also help you out. Besides homeworks, I'll also give you practice exams. Practice exams, their primary purpose, they serve twofold. One, to see how ready you are to take the test, how well you understand the material. And 2, because you took that effort to do that practice test, 10% of whatever you get on your practice test will be bonus points on your testing grade. So let's say you're a B student. You made an 80 on the practice test. How many bonus points is that? 8. And you make an 82 on the test. So what's your grade? A 90. Because you just made 82 with your bonus points and make it 90. So you got an A for doing extra work. Now, it's not mandatory, but it's highly advised that you take the practice exams. Again, now, why is that important? Because at the end of the semester, when I do the calculations for your final grade, if I see that you didn't do any of the practice exams, what's that going to tell me about your grade? Did you really care about it? Not really. So if you make an 89.3, guess what your grade's going to be? 89.3. But if you took the practice exams and you made an 89.3, even after all those bonus points and everything, if you make it 88.1, I'll bump you up to a 90 because it showed me that you were trying to do everything you could to get a better grade. I'll only reward those who show initiative to help themselves. If you don't care about yourself, why should I? Although I do. I want you all to pass this course and pass the second and third, and then take differential equations, linear algebra, and all the other ones. Because you guys are in this course because you want to be engineers of some sort. So again, this is just the beginning. Now is only the beginning. This, all the other math courses you took, gone, useless. It all begins now. If you want to be an engineer, everything from calculus beyond is what matters. Okay, don't get me wrong. The algebra and trig are important because those are the mechanical parts of calculus. What you're going to see in this course, when you hear calculus, you're thinking it's a whole drawn out process. Think of a series of dominoes. As if you push the first one, what happens? They all topple down. You know what calculus is? Not the first domino, it's the first push. That's all calculus is the first push. The rest of it is algebra or trigonometry. Because all calculus is going to do is apply a formula to an equation, to a problem, and the rest is how you solve it? Algebra. So you think of it that way, it takes a lot of the stress off. That's why I said it's turbo algebra. It does the same stuff we do here, but it does it 1,000 times faster. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by looking at the basic parts of algebra. And then we're going to switch over to calculus to make it much faster, much easier. So pretty much the first chapter is going to be very arduous and drooling, and it's going to be miserable. But once we get out of there, then you'll appreciate what calculus is going to do for you. Now, your grades are going to be calculated by, well, I'll show you. Oh, also in source, how many of y'all have signed up for Remind already? Excellent, because it's mandatory. In my courses, well, when do you do your homework? What part of the week? After class is the best time. But most of the time people do it either evening time or weekends. Because after class you want to go and relax. You can do something fun. But some people wait till the weekend. Now, why? It wouldn't be fair for me if you're doing it over the weekend and you send me a message, an email saying, I'm stuck here, can you help me? A lot of professors don't check their emails on the weekend. You have professors in the past, or other classes that says, anything after Friday at 5, I won't respond till Monday. That's the worst thing a teacher can say. Because that means you lost your entire weekend of doing work you could have been more productive. That's why I use the Remind app. How many of you are familiar with the Remind app? Okay, the Remind app is just that. It's an app where we communicate directly via our cell phones. How far is your cell phone away from you at any part during the day or night or in the shower, or I don't care where you go? It's never more than an arm length away. It's part of your body now. And that's the reason. So I carry my phone with me. And so if you have a message, if you have a problem, you can send me a text or a picture of what your issue is. And if we can't solve it there, then what I'll do is I'll work it out and send you the video of it. Or if that doesn't work, then we can meet on Zoom and we can work it out together. I will try to respond to you within the hour of you sending me a message. Unless I'm preoccupied, I've seen a movie or something, then wait till I'm finished. All right, so, but it's a lot faster in emails. Emails, I check maybe 3 times a week, if I'm lucky. I got 11 classes, and instead of checking emails all the time, it's much easier for my phone, no matter where I am. Even if I'm dinner waiting for it to be served for the waiter or waitress, I'll check my messages to see what they are. And I'll respond to you. It's open, so everybody see what we're sending in case they have the same question. So, and it's also, I've got some other classes. The reason I like it is how many times have you shown up to school and the instructor's not there? And there's no message on the door yet. And you wait there how long? And wait there how long? And wait there how long? It's not fair to you. So if I'm not going to be here, I will send you a message as soon as I find out that I'm not going to be here. So that if you haven't left the house yet, you can stay there or not. If you have another class before this, then you just leave her afterwards. There's nothing I hate more than students wasting their time waiting for an instructor that's not there. All right. And the way I do my courses, my classes, is I live stream everything. Here's the best part for you all. I live stream my classes. What does that mean to you? You have 3 ways of taking participating in my course. And there's no way you can be absent from my class. It's impossible. One way, you could be here face to face. Another way, you can watch it from home on the Zoom link. If you have questions, you just ask a question. It'll just come over the speaker and I'll answer it. What we're going to see, what everybody's going to see when I'm lecturing is this piece of paper. When I'm lecturing, everything will be written there. So if you have a question, you say, well, where'd you get that? How'd you get that step? What'd you do there? Why'd you get that? So you can do it from home. Or the third way, because they're live streamed, I record everything. What I do is I save the recording onto my YouTube channel, and I make PDFs of my notes, and I upload them on the sheet, and I send them to everybody. So you could either watch them that evening or wait till the weekend and watch them all. There's no way you could be absent from my course. Or if I annoy you, then you can watch the producers, the publishers' videos. Or you can watch another person on YouTube. There's no way, again, in this course, it's really impossible to fail. You have to try really hard to fail this course. If you have a question, 24/7, I'm available. If you have a nighttime job and you don't do your work until like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and you have a question and you want to meet on Zoom, give me some warning, and then I will wake up early and get on Zoom at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, whenever you want to, and we can work over the problem you have. For 16 weeks, I'm here for you. As soon as 11:59 p.m., December 12th, I don't know you. Don't contact me. So no, I will do everything I can to help make this course as streamlined, as stress-free as possible. And all my courses that way. So it's up to you all. If you don't feel like coming to class that day, watch it from home or your cell phone, wherever, or wait for the video. Here's another thing. At least, the only thing I ask for is do not have your cell phone out during this course. Because that shows 0 respect for me. If you're going to be in here, be in here. If your cell phone's more important, get out of here. Go outside. And I will ask students to leave. If I see them chronically on their cell phone during lecture, it's annoying me. And not only me, but it's people around you distracting. Because when you have your cell phone out and you're surfing or anything like that, it distracts people around you and behind you. I will ask you to leave. Or put your phone away. Again, while we're in here, we only have each other for what, 80 minutes, 90 minutes? If you can't stay away from your cell phone from that long, I'll give you some lists of doctors, some psychologists to go see and get that fixed, because that's chronic issues there. If you don't believe me, look at the last message you sent over the last 10 hours. Were any of them really that important? That anything you do on your cell phone was really that important. If so, again, good luck finding a job, especially in the engineering realm. Yes, when you get to the third and fourth year and get to university, you won't see students playing with their cell phones. You'll see people with their calculators out, reading magazines of new technologies. They won't be wasting their times with their cell phones and texting friends and everything like that. That you have to get away from. If you want to get into the real world, if you really want to be an engineer. If not, then try something liberal artish where they don't care if you use your cell phone. All right, let's look at here. I have a media log there too. I will also give you all, not only will I send you that day's lecture, the video and the PDF notes, but I'll also give you all of my previous semester's notes and videos. If you want to work ahead or if you just want to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to do that too. If you want to finish this course in 3 weeks, you can do that. I'll give you everything you need. So if you're going to watch this course from home, go to the syllabus, and right here, you click this online meeting link. That'll take you to this video. You'll be watching through the camera. And for our remind, I sent you an email yesterday with all the remind links. Choose the course you're in and do that. Because again, that is the most important part about communication for this course. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here. Your grades. You'll have a remind test and syllabus test. I've had people make zeros in these. Now, what is it comprised of? The syllabus test. Read the syllabus yourself, look over it after we're going to talk about it, but look over yourself, read all the fine print. And if you have any questions, or if you understand it, or if you have any questions, just send me a remind message saying that you've read the syllabus and either you understand it or you have questions about it. You just took those 2 tests. Send it to me via remind. That means you know how to use it and it's sending messages. That's 100. Telling me that you read the syllabus, that's another thing. Yes. No, you can do it off your browser. It's just we'll set them up here before y'all leave today. Make sure you get it all done. Again, it's not negotiable. It is a requirement. I need that in this class, so it's a requirement. It's a grade. Your homeworks. When you look at the grades online, you're going to see 2 different types of grades: homeworks and media grades. The media grades, I think I took those out, but if I didn't take them out, what they're simply the access to the publisher's videos. Only way I could put them live online is if I gave them some points. What I do at the end of the semester, I delete all of those. So even though you show a whole bunch of hundreds, but they're all media, I delete those. You get those count nothing to me because you didn't do anything except watch a video. I'm not going to reward that. The only grades I keep are the homework ones. Any homeworks that you don't do converts to 0. And that's another problem that the system has. If you just did your first homework assignment and waited till the last day of the semester, it'll say your homework average is 100. Because that's all you tried. It only averages what you tried. I go in there and put zeros in everything you haven't done, and then it gives me the true average. All right, so I average your homeworks only. We'll have 4 exams. We're only going to cover chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this course. Calculus 2 goes from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And calculus 3 is 11, 12, 13, 14. It's all the same book and the same everything. So it's you have right there. And right now we have a final comprehensive that's over the entire course. Everything we cover, it'll be worth 200 points. So think about that. If you fail the final, you can drop 2 letter grades. But again, you shouldn't have to, because I'll give you multiple tries at all these. It looks scary, but again, you have multiple tries at the tests. If you need more tries, tell me and I'll give you more tries. Just promise me you won't cheat. You can use the formula sheets I give you. I'll give you formula sheets for the algebra, the trig, and the calculus part. Yes, sir. Do I do what? Yes, yes. Because yeah, it's the calculators they have now by the TIs. I mean, they can do everything. You enter the data, it'll tell you the equation that best fits all of those, the correlation regression equation for it. I mean, you don't have to do any work. But try to get away from using technology to do all the work. It's use it to supplement your learning, not to replace it. Think about that. Don't let it do the work for you. Let it just help you along. So if you use calculators or graphing stuff, do it first yourself and see what happens. But that's one of the projects I'm working on now, is how in high school math, it's the same and also here, but they use it a lot more in high school, is they have students do these graphs and everything and step-by-step procedures, but the only thing the computer does is take the last answer. You can do everything beautifully, but if you type in your answer incorrectly, guess what? That question's wrong. But there are artificial intelligence applications that you can take a picture of your work or your graph, and it'll tell you if it's right or wrong and tell you where it's right or wrong. All it does is not tell you your answer is wrong. It doesn't tell you where you made a mistake. You have to go back and try to fix it. So if you want to figure out what your average is, your grade at any point, so in other words, do not ask me, what is my grade at this point? You're in calculus. You can figure this out. A homework average, how many homework assignments are we supposed to have? Average all those grades. If you're missing some grades, put zeros in there. Average that. How do you average it? Add up those grades, divide by how many you have. Then add those, your homework average, your hundreds for the remind and syllabus tests, and then for each of the tests, chapter tests you've taken so far, and divide by how many grades you have. That's going to be your average. That's all I'm going to do at the end of the semester. And then here at the very bottom, these are everything we're going to cover. Limits and continuity. Then we get into derivatives, applications, and then finish up in integrals. Derivatives and integrals are opposites of each other. They're inverses of each other. You're right. Derivatives help us find rates of change, the slope of a curve at any point, and the integral finds the area under a curve or area between curves. So chapter 2 is going to be probably the most grueling chapter we have. We're going to learn how to do things the long way. And then we'll show a shortcut. But we have to understand where the stuff really came from. What does it mean? Once you understand that, then it has some meaning to it, and then you have a better understanding of it. Chapter 3 is pretty big, and then it drops off from there. And here's our calendar. These are weeks, and these are the beginning of the week. So there's exam 4, chapter 4 exam should be taken if you're following along, should be taken in the week of November 11th. Again, I don't put that online because I only have one due date for everything, and that's the 12th of December. But I give you this as a template of where you should be along the way. When I do lecture notes, each section we cover, I'll start off with, on this side, it'll be what class we have and the title of it. And once we finish that, I stop the recording, get a new piece of paper, start the next section, start the new recording and everything. So each recording and each PDF set I send you will be of each section independently. That way you don't have to look at a whole bunch of videos. If you're just having trouble with chapter 2, section 4, just go straight to that video. Unfortunately, those videos are going to be an hour plus long. But I walk through everything step by step by step. Typically, when I write things out, I will have the procedure, I'll have the example, and the step-by-step procedure over here. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And that way we could do the first one together, and then every one after that, you can just relate back to the procedural steps. All right, so again, it's all algorithmic at this point. There's a step-by-step procedure you have to follow. Any questions so far? No questions? Yes. Everything's open now. It's open now until the end of the semester. But now, why do I do that? Because life happens. No one knows what's going to happen next week. You could get, there's some other virus going out around now that's even more deadly than we said COVID was many years ago. What if you get stuck with that? Or a Lyme tick and you're in the hospital for 2 weeks? That's the reason I don't believe in solid, rigid deadlines. If something happens, or something happens in your family, you have to go away for a while for whatever. I don't want to say a funeral, but that sounds too. But you're going to go away for family trips or whatever like that, or if you have a job, they may require you to go to a conference or something. So again, life happens. That's why I put everything at the end of the semester, and you can move at your own pace. I will give you everything that you need. More questions, more questions. I know I'm missing stuff. And the first quiz I'm going to give you is going to be simple as your name, your bank account numbers, your mother maiden name, pet's name, address. It's a short test. Oh, yes, I have more questions. Because typically what I do is I start off with a review of the algebra and trig stuff. But no, we'll have those reviews as we go along in the course. I could ask you. No, I won't. So honestly, normally what I do is I give a algebra test and a trigonometry, pretty much your final exams. I give you those in class. You took them once before, you should be able to pass them now. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, exactly. You guys slept since last semester, and so it could be that it just needs like a snow globe. You'd be shaking for a little bit, get all those neurons working. But that's my job, is to get everything connected and how it relates, because we're going to be using a lot of trig in this course. I think we talked about grades, we talked about attendance. You sure you have any questions? Yes.
You said that, your notes from the previous, semester of the,
Yeah,
but any chance do you have notes from the previous class? By that I mean like, Mrs. Cal, do you have notes from pre-cal or tree?
I could put those up there. Because you see, you had media log. And here you have the lecture notes and videos. This is from this past summer. These are each topic we're going to discuss. And what I have to do is I'm going to get my notes and videos for the solutions of each section. I have those, I just have to put them all on there. So again, it is, if you want to work ahead or at your own pace, knock yourself out. Because not everybody is copacetic with sitting in the class for an hour and a half. But yeah, I'll look for those. The algebra ones, yeah, I can do those, but I have those already. The trig ones, I just taught my first trig course here, so I never taught, and a pre-calculus course, so I'll put those up there. I do mostly calculus or level up courses. No more questions? Think you know your algebra and your trig, huh? Okay, clear your desks. And then what I like to do, what I'll do sometimes also during classes when I'm lecturing, you know, and I'll work a couple of examples, and I may just do is I may call somebody else from the audience to come up and do some problems for a problem for us, and then they could choose the next person. Not only to, not to embarrass them, but I need to see what you guys know, what you don't know. I guarantee you this, that when I'm lecturing and I do the work, you'll understand it like it's nothing. But the second you step a foot out that door, it stays in here. You're gonna be looking at your homework. Say, I don't know. All right, we will start on Wednesday. Our first lecture will be Wednesday. Adios. You have to clear your desk off anyway. All right, everybody, that's it. You ready to take it? You ready to take a test? Ooh, okay, before you leave, here's a question for you all. It's not gonna be tough. Quietly work it out. And write it down and bring it to me. No no calculators. If you get it right, you can leave. If you get it wrong, you go back and work it out. So work it out, write it down on a piece of paper or on your phone. Is your calculator? No. That's right. Yeah. Good job. Bring it to me, the answer on a calculator. Very good. Very good.
You want it?
No, I trust you. I should frame it, shouldn't I? But if you're finished, bring it up here. You guys are in calculus.
When we gonna set up the reminder?
Oh, okay. If you want to, I saw put up the codes right here. Right. Or I sent you an email yesterday. It has a link to it. Look, very good. Very good. Yeah, see, 1 second. Show me. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Line?
Yeah. Okay. Let me hold on. Anybody leave first. No calculators. Let me show you here. Because if you have your phone, you can go to the syllabus. You can click it there, I'll take you straight to it. Or if you go to your school email, I sent you an email yesterday. Click on that and it'll take you to the link. Go on the calculus, click that, it'll take you to the link of registering.
In the school, you know, the.
It's the one with the E, yeah. It's the one that starts with an E.
And it's the outlet.
Yes, yes.
All right.
No,
Wait, really?
no. Yes.
Wait,
Thank you, you too.
you said 6 months. Okay,
No, it's not for discussion. It's wrong.
really?
It's wrong.
So I have a class in El Salvador campus until 10:50. So
Well, in that case, then don't bust your butt, because don't get a ticket. Just start watching it online.
yeah, that's the best thing I can do.
Yeah, or we can watch it.
I wanna come here, but like if it's okay if I come 15 minutes.
Yes, of course, yes, of course.
That's what I was
Or
thinking.
if you want to put on your phone and listen to it as you're driving,
Yeah.
but don't watch it. Very good. Because that's, if people who get it the other way, no, I can tell who used PEMDAS or not.
Is that an app?
PEMDAS, remind, yeah, it's not really an app. You can download the app, or you can just use it just off the browser. Yes, and it's on the email I sent yesterday. Yes, but yes, it's one or the other. Was can now,
It's this one, right?
yes. Yeah, and I just sent another message. If it's asking you for a code,
Oh, yeah, I saw the.
Okay.
info for this.
so
Okay.
But doesn't the.
We don't have to do that with the email of the school, right? I can
Right.
just use my personal.
yes,
Okay.
because
Great.
think about it, in the order of operations, multiplication and division are the same level of importance.
Mhm.
Mathematics is a language. Read left to right.
Oh,
6 divided by 3 is
and
2 times 2.
four.
Yes.
I end up using Pandas.
If you, in my classes, that is one word that it's just like if you throw water on the Wicked Witch of the West, it'll make me melt. I don't like it. I hate PEMDAS. PEMDAS is only good for high school or junior high, elementary school kids. Use order of operations. Did you get it?
So I'm not sure, but I'm kind of confused. So what I did was, I split the 6 into 32, then I click on the 3 and 2, and I.
No. You overthink. Get out of here. No. Very good.